Previously, we created the power outlet for the house, and we populated the house with a bunch of power outlets. Now it's time to create the light switches, which is pretty much going to be the same process, so it's a little bit more the same. So I'll be moving along a little bit quicker. I'm going to go to the front view here, and I'm also going to use an image as the blueprint here to create our object. So, to maximize this view, hit Alt and B. I'll go to Files. I'll go to Light Switches, and I've collected a few images here to use for reference, and the one I'll be using is this one that I found off the internet. I'll hit Match Bitmap, and I'll activate the Lock Zoom Pan function. And there we go. I'm going to turn off the grid, and we can see right there is our light switch, and we're just going to go ahead and start modeling this. So I'll create a plane, and I'm going to make it the rough dimensions here of the light switch. I'm going to take the length and width segments, knock that down to 0. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's convert this to an Editable Poly. Take that polygon right there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the inset tool to inset this a bit, like about, let me see, maybe about that much. Let me go to the perspective view here. I'm going to take that and move it forward just a little bit, like so. Okay. And what I'm going to do now is take this polygon here, and I'm going to inset this one. I'm going to scale it down and try to match up the dimensions there. That piece that outlines this. See, the image is a little bit off. It is a photographic image, so it's not going to come out perfectly isometric. Okay, so I want to create that little border right there, that little black border there, which is basically a crevice or an indentation into the actual model there. So I'll do it the same way as I've done it before. I'm going to take all the corner vertices here, chamfer that, zoom in on one of these corners just to see what's going on. Chamfer it about that much, hit apply, so that chamfered again. And about this much is good, I'll hit OK. I'm going to take all these extra vertices that I've created, collapse them. Take those, collapse them. Take those and collapse. Take these guys, collapse them as well. Okay, you can go back to polygon mode and select the center polygon here. And this one, what I'm going to do is, let me see. I'm going to inset this just a little bit like so. Just make that kind of border there. And that's probably going to be good enough. Okay, and then I'm going to leave the rest alone. Actually, let me grow that. I'm going to grow that one time. I'm going to deselect the center polygon there. Go back to my perspective view here. I'm going to go to the extrude options, and I'm going to extrude this in on itself like so. A pretty good amount. Not going to overdo it, just a bit like that. Hit OK. Render that out. There it is. Just like we did before. And then what we're going to need here is basically this the actual switch itself. So I'm going to recycle here. I'm going to use this middle polygon right there. I'm going to hold down Shift while I scale this in to make up myself a new polygon. And I'm going to make it a, you know what, I'll probably make it a separate object. So I'll hit Clone to Object, hit OK. Go ahead and select that new object that I've created. I'm going to take the polygon there. I'm going to scale it up. It's going to have to be a little bit bigger, so I'll scale it up a bit, like so. Something like that. Okay, that looks pretty good. And this light switch, what I'm going to have to do is make some adjustments to it here. I'm going to take these, basically these two edges that run across here on sides. I'm going to connect those. Let me connect those one time. Just doing this on the fly as I go. Let me go over here to the perspective view real quick. I'm going to take that guy and take off see-through mode. I'm going to take this guy here. I'm going to take all its polygons. I'm going to go to the extrude options here. I'm going to extrude it outward like this. So basically I'm going to extrude it positively. And let me see how much I want to extrude this. Maybe I'll extrude it about maybe this much here, like this. I'll extrude it about this much. And I'll hit OK. Then I'm going to see about taking this edge here that's in the middle. Take off that grid. I'm going to move it in like so to give this kind of that shape that we're trying to go after. So we're going after something like that. A little bit hard to see there. Let me change the color of that object to something else, just so it's a little bit easier to see. So that's basically kind of the shape that we're going for, right there, something like that. But we can see that this side up here probably shouldn't be like this. So let me see what I can do about this. Maybe if I rotate it like this, it'll look pretty good. And in this part over here, what I'm going to do is, let me see. And that's kind of sticking out just a little bit too much. So let me take all of these vertices here. I'm going to move them in like so, just a bit, something like that. And let me see if I'm happy with that. I'm going to go something like this maybe. So it looks like this. Okay, that looks pretty decent. Looks pretty good. Okay, that pretty much achieves what I'm going after. And since this is just a detail object in the background, I'm not going to worry about it too much. Unless we were doing like a close-up, maybe a render for a company that makes light switches, then that'd be a whole different ballgame. But in this case, it's just a background prop that's going to be seen from far away. So I'm going to be happy with that. Then I'm going to come to the main light switch body over here. Take that edge there, select the loop. I'm going to go ahead and chamfer this. If you remember, we did this for power outlet, just to give it that nice curvature up there. Maybe I'll give it about 4 segments. Hit OK, render that out. I can see I need to probably fix up the smoothing groups there. So I'll go to Properties, Smooth 30. Render this out. There we go. Now it's nice and smooth. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Attach. I'm going to attach the actual button there for the light switch to the rest of the light switch. Okay. Okay, so that's pretty much done right there. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cap the back part of it. I'm going to select the back border there and cap it. And you can see at that area right there is penetrating the actual button. So I'll select that back polygon there. Just pull it back a bit until it disappears. Okay, perfect. There we go. So we have ourselves a light switch for our scene. Looks pretty good. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to export it out just like we did before. So I'll select the object, go over here to Export. Editor, I choked there. This flu or whatever it is caused my my voice to just pretty much stop, and I started choking. I'm gonna see if I can finish off at least this video. Be ashamed to cancel it right at the end. Murphy's Law, Murphy's Law. Okay, so we're starting again in 3, 2, 1. All I have to do is select the light switch here. Going to go up to the 3ds Max file button up here. Go to Export. Start again in 3, 2, 1. All I have to do is export the light switch now, so I'll select it. I'll go up to the 3ds Max file button up here. I'll go to the Export. Go to Export Selected. And you can see there's our power outlet. We're just going to call this light_switch. And we'll use the same options as before. So I'll hit Export. Done. And I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. We're going to jump back to the other scene and import this in. Okay, editor, edit that out of the video. We're gonna just edit the end part of the audio after I export it. We're gonna end the video. Okay, so start again in 3, 2, 1. Now that it's exported, I'm going to end this video here, and in the next one we're going to jump back into the house scene and import this in and start to place it around our scene.